Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is about to be a rant video. And when I say a rant, oh boy, let me tell you guys what I'm cooking up here, because this is no mere tangent that I spend 20 minutes on a stream talking about nothing. No. And this is not me making a 10-minute video bitching about one line of dialogue in something that realistically doesn't matter that much. No. For those of you who don't know, I never read Berserk. And that's what we're here to talk about today. I never read Berserk, and I made the intention to read Berserk eventually. Now, some of you might not know, but as the time of this recording is the 23rd of November, if I got that date calendar right. Who knows? My computer's kind of slow. But I will say that I've been under the weather for the past week. Eyes are bloodshot. I haven't been getting much rest. You know, I got another excuse to wear the aviators, not just because I'm humiliated that my wife left me, right? So, because I got bloodshot eyes. It doesn't look nice. It doesn't look attractive. Not that, you know, I'm a 6 at best, but still not very attractive to have bloodshot eyes on a video, right? No. The fact of the matter is, you have all this backstory, because this is going to be the rant video. This is going to be the tangent. And I fully intended to make videos about Berserk as I was catching up. The reason for this is, as I said, I didn't get to a lot of videos, and I'm starting to feel better here this weekend, and I was getting back into it. But beforehand, my good friend, Miss Content, check him out right here. I'll put up a thingy here, I'm sure, post-editing. But he said, hey, do you still do your read-through streams? And I said, well, honestly, you know, this has been the shittiest year of my life. Not really feeling it sort of idea, and blah, 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 a lot of reasons. Point is, he suggested Berserk. And I went, actually, I started rereading it, like, because I had always read, like, the first, like, what do they call that? They label it the prologue, but I always read, I never got to the Golden Age arc or anything like that. But I had always read a few chapters, and then ended up, life happened, and I never did pick it up. But the previous month, in October, just before Halloween, I had, you know, reread the first 5-6 chapters, something like that, and I said, yeah. I said, okay, maybe I'll get back into this. And of course, life got in the way. However, because I was under the weather, I didn't really feel like making videos. I didn't have the motivation to do very much outside of just cooking, cleaning, and the usual bullshit. I said, I'll read Berserk. You know what? You know, because Miss reminded me, and he said, let's go. Oh yeah, we're getting into this, because I think it's considered volume 20, but I'll pull it up. I'm on chapter 179 is where I left off. Now, I don't know if there's different chapters, like the prologue chapters count as a different number or something like that, but suffice it to say, I'm well deep into the story. I'm at least halfway through, if not better. We can definitely say that, right? And you know, because I was, you know, not feeling under the weather, not feeling up to making videos, but I can read manga, you know what I mean? And it felt good, you know? You order a pizza, and you just spend your whole day reading. Where's the harm? Before we continue with this rant/tirade, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to make one point abundantly clear that I don't believe I bring up during the rant. And that is that I think that both Mr. Did Nothing Wrong himself and Berserk as a manga are phenomenal. I think they're incredibly, exceptionally well written. Griffith himself, while a very evil, obviously a unredeemable character, is a very well written character. He is incredibly good for the plot of Berserk, and it does work in that regard. So this rant is entirely within universe and within the confines of Berserk itself and its story. It has nothing to do that say that he was really poorly written or one-dimensional or anything like that. So the rest of this rant is just quite literally after all the horrific things that took place at that point when I am currently caught up with Berserk. But at the time I had read up to the point where he did nothing wrong, ideology started to take place. That is when this video was recorded, shortly after just finishing reading that arc and that chapter that very day. So just wanted to make that clear, because I don't think I say anything along these lines, nor redeemable whatsoever, for the rest of this rant. So anyways, just wanted to inject that little part here so that the comment section doesn't completely ignore the 30 minutes of entertainment versus thinking that I was saying something I wasn't. So anyways, let's go back to me yelling a lot. All right. There's some harm. There's some harm that needs to be done to one man. And you know what? Scratch that. That's not a man. There's not anything M-A-N about the supposed embodiment of a man. Now, you guys know that maybe I'm not as woke or as hipster as anybody else, and I think that having 52 letters at the end of LGBT is a little excessive. But, for the context, I'm going to tell you that even they have not come up with an appropriate letter, because it would be an insult to any of the fucking letters after the Q in the LGBTQ. This man, this thing is, that's rude to Jeff. This thing cannot be considered any letter in any language, in any fucking thing. Alright? Now, I knew years ago, and I mean years, I mean back in like the 2000s, I mean like a decades, plural ago, about the meme. Griffith did nothing wrong. And I knew about the rape. Now, this video is obviously going to get taken down because I'm going to use every fucking vulgar piece of language I can to describe this motherfucker in a second. But yes, I'm going to use the word. I'm sorry if it bothers you. Guess what? It's what happened. Don't read Berserk and don't watch my videos if you got a fucking problem. I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit. I knew about the rape. Okay? So I knew it was coming. The entire time I started reading this, I knew Griffith was a piece of shit, and I knew he was a dick. Alright? I knew all this. However, you know what really tipped the scales for me was actually here in this chapter, because there was a lot of details I did not know about. In the same way that I feel like poor Bleach fans, like, if you're not associated with anime, you don't know about the Aizen reveal, right? And it's one of the big reasons why when people say, you know what, I don't really get why people, the Soul Society thing. And then I ask them, did you already know Aizen was a villain before you read it? And then they say yes, and I'm like, there you go. The big thing about that was the Aizen reveal for Bleach, right? So I get it. I get why Soul Society doesn't impact some people the same way it did before everyone knew that Aizen's a bad guy. Well, I thought that the same thing would happen to me with the whole, I already know Griffith's evil. And if you read the prologue, you know, obviously, Griffith is a piece of shit. Guts hates him. He's going for him when he faces off against the God Hand. We know this. So it wasn't that he turned evil. And I already knew about the rape. So what could he possibly do to make me this irritated? In fact, I just stopped reading at the end of chapter 179. I stopped reading. I've been messaging Miss this whole time, and I said, fuck this. I'm seething. I need to make this video. Okay, so, as I said, this is just a rant. Because I plan to make a video about how Griffith, I plan to make a Berserk video, like talking about my experience reading Berserk. You know, I was off and I've been binge reading it. I've basically done nothing for 3 days, okay? I've just been reading Berserk. Every moment, you know, I have a slice of pizza, then I go back to reading on my phone, reading on the computer, reading wherever. It's the build-up post the eclipse till now. None of that was spoiled for me, okay? I really thought the worst thing he could do was rape Casca, okay? I thought that was the big thing, okay? Of course we hate rapists. We hate them. They are usually, them and pedophiles are usually considered the worst of human, period, you know? Because you can always justify a murder. You can. I can justify killing 3 people right now. Nobody would question if I killed specific people. Everyone would say, you're lorded over, right? There is almost always a way to make every crime in this world, depending on the circumstances, there's always a method, something there that says This was justified. It might be unethical, it might be immoral, but it's justified. The one rule, and this is why rape and stuff is considered the worst, is because there is nothing. There is no excuse for that. At least, of innocent people. But yeah, so I will stipulate that 99.9%. I did happen to read one story in the real world, and we won't get into that, about, I would argue, a bit of a justified sexual assault of a manner to a, well, guess what? A serial rapist. Go figure. When he gets dicked down in prison, I think that's kind of okay. You know what I mean? So it's fine. So 99.9% of the time. But the point is, I thought that was the worst. The worst that this man would do. And I'd be like, okay, yes, I hate him too. He's a worthless piece of shit. I get it. It's all the thing with the baby. Alright? That's what just tears me completely. Like, from everything. Maybe it's because I lost my chance of being a father this year, right? With my wife leaving and stuff like that, right? And I'm a little too old to start fresh and stuff like that. And I will appreciate you guys saying, you're young, blah, 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 in the comments, blah, 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 whatever. None of those words help. Trust me, my family and friends have been saying the same bullshit. But I think I'm just a little too attached, a little too emotional this year about the fact that my whole goal in life was to be a good father and a good husband. That was my goal. Other people want to be firefighters. Other people want to be millionaires. Other people want to, fuck tons of broads and, do this, do that. Some people want to be a world champ or, the best there ever was. Since I was in primary school, all I wanted was to provide for a family. I just wanted to have my own family. That's all I cared about. And now it's been taken away from me. So maybe this is a little more emotional for me, and maybe this is why this particular act is what kills me the most, and why I'm seething with rage right now, is because post-eclipse, let's just recap this. Post-eclipse, what do we have? We have, and we knew this, and I suspected the moment we had Casca, right before the eclipse or whatever, she touched her stomach, like, I'm getting a bit of, and we already went through the period shit before. I'm like, nah, this ain't the period stuff. She's fucking pregnant. She's pregnant. And I was like, this is a little early, you know what I mean? Like how TV dramas and shit always show the morning sickness, which literally doesn't happen for like 3 months in. Morning sickness generally doesn't happen apparently to the end of the first trimester into the second, supposedly, or something like that. And some women never get it, but that's how we visually show it, morning sickness and and eating weird shit. We always show that, even though those symptoms are only common, not definitive. Anyways, point is that was my immediate thought. I went, got this kid. And then, of course, the eclipse happened. I said, wow, well, this is absolutely torturous. This is terrible. This is the worst. And then the whole baby drop thing, right? And at first I'm thinking, oh shit. And for some reason, I'd forgotten that I had already confirmed to myself that Griffith, that Guts, that she already had the pregnancy thing. I'm thinking, oh my god, he raped her, and now because, human logic doesn't have to apply, I'm thinking manga, I'm thinking fantastical, now she's a birth mother, she's a brood mother, she now spawned this demon of Griffiths. No. It gets worse. Tainted literally the baby. Reddit, how it is, there's no stupid questions, or the books for dummies and stuff. How many people have asked the dumb question? How many stupid fucking males have asked the question, oh, I got a bit of a big dick. What if I hit the head of and if I'm fucking a pregnant lady, what if I hit the baby? You know what I mean? It's like, first of all, nobody's that large. Second, it's a stupid question. Second of all, same with the whole, what if I blow a load inside of her, and she's pregnant, and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, for God's sakes. No. You know what happened? Quite literally, that dumbass question across the internet with stupid fucking males finally came to fruition. Yep, when you're a demon spawn of some ideal of evil God's hand bullshit, apparently when you blow your load, you do hit the baby. So now it's a tainted evil piece of shit. It's an unborn fetus that forces to be born, and now is there to torture not so much his mother, but to torture his father endlessly every damn night for years. And it's not this fucking baby's fault. Not whatsoever. This is just tragedy meets misery, and it just keeps happening. It just keeps happening. But I didn't think it could get worse than that, because I actually had this feeling, because we had been seeing little glimpses of this, is that the baby was never really deformed and tainted and all this shit, was never actually actively trying to hurt Guts, but was always there trying to sort of semi-warn him. And then, at least at some moments, right? Post-eclipse. And then, we also see that the baby has been protecting the addled brain mother, Casca, this whole time. As Elaine, as whatever, right? And she's then mistaken for a witch. Burn the witch, all that shit. Okay. I didn't think it could get much worse, because I thought there was like some form of maybe redemption here, that eventually maybe this baby was the key. Maybe this baby was a demon not born of hate, might have been tainted, but still has the good nature, the good heart inside. And here's the worst part, is that I was fucking right about that as of 179. I was absolutely right about that, because when that fucking egg thing took the baby in and stuff, and I said, no, that's going to be the savior. The baby's going to be safe. The baby's actually going to be safe. They're going to get out of this, and whether that baby ever recovers or blah, blah, blah. But then they showed it growing, and I went, oh, maybe the baby will grow up and be like this, sort of this, I don't think they're ever going to have a great father-son picnic day, but I was thinking that maybe now with a little more power, the baby would be able to help his father some way, while likely wanting to blame him and curse him, but also wants him to suffer, blah, 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 something like that. I thought we were going that route. The child who felt abandoned by his daddy, daddy issues, right? That's where I thought we were going. No, and I didn't recognize, I saw the hair, but I just didn't think. And then we read this, and then Griffith comes back in his full form and stuff, and his whole reasoning is to be there. He recruits Zod, which Zod, get the fuck out of Guts' way. I love you, but get the fuck out of his way. Is the baby that he tainted. Because you got to remember the lead up to these events is that even though Casca was raped and stuff, and even though, her mind was shattered, she still could have delivered the baby. She was safe for a number of months in the cave and yada, 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 due to the Skull King and all this crap. They still could have had a healthy baby. It was not going to be a rape baby. It wasn't Griffith's. It was Guts. So a small miracle still could have taken place, but no, they ripped that away. Any type of thin sliver of happiness that Guts and or Casca could have as just constantly, no, we're not just not going to give that a possibility, we're also going to tear it, twist it, and make it worse. And to find out that Griffith used that whole cocoon, the egg, the entire thing, the whole combination, now that baby will never grow. Like, if it could grow as a demon, we don't know. We'll never find out, and I'll tell you why. Because Griffith used it as a foothold, as a host body, to be now on Earth. Unlike the rest of the God Hand, which, as we were told, only every 1,000 years, and blah, 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 and bullshit, prophecy. This causality bullshit. And it's just like, Okay. So you're telling me that not only is this baby unborn, in pain, tainted, and suffering, now became... Griffith used that as the host to manifest this flesh on earth, just to make sure that he made his decision. So when he made his decision, it was correct. He wants validation that he made the right choice. And he goes to the cemetery, the Band of the Hawk, and he's talking to Richter, or I don't know if he was saying anything or whatever, and and for him to just be like, yeah, well, now it's complete. Now I can look at you Guts, the one who swayed me from my dream last time. And I'm standing here amongst all the people that I killed, and I feel nothing. He literally did this in the most torturous way to not only torture Guts, but to validate that he did nothing wrong, Internet. All that, yes, that's a boiler inside of me waiting to blow. The tip that the reason I'm doing this rant is because the badum. Because as I said, I didn't make the connection with the baby and stuff at that point. Maybe this would be different if I, for some reason, didn't make that connection. But as I said before, I was right. That baby, tainted, unborn, and demon kind, still had feelings towards what he knows as his parents, Guts and Casca. And so when he says he feels nothing, and Guts is getting hurt as Zod defends Griffith with Zod, get the fuck out of the way, he remarks, oh, it must be the host body. Like, it's not my feelings, but because I literally stole their child to create my now living flesh. Now, there's still remnants. There's still remnants of those feelings. And we've seen this happen before, haven't we? In any time we have body snatchers, right? In anime. It happened with Gito in Jujutsu Kaisen. It happened with Naraku in Inuyasha and stuff. Anytime someone tries to be all-powerful, they use a host body, whatever, this happens, right? The old feelings, the soul, the heart, the will of the host will never be extinguished, no matter how much the villain claims. But here's the worst part. All that, and this fucking cunt just stands there, and he literally acts as though his dream is worth any of this. I've not been able to continue. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit back. I'm going to record some videos that I didn't record already, because I've been under the weather. Still a little stuffed up, but whatever. Okay. So that's everything I wanted to sort of say in regards to Griffith and his, stuff. Because there's stuff I still want to say about Causality and Griffith's asinine. The key point that would have changed everything was his stupid, asinine speech by the fountain with the Princess Charlotte, which is what set everything in motion and caused everything bad that happened to him. He caused himself. with that stupid fucking speech. And he's not learned after being tortured, after being rescued, after being treated like gold, after everything. This man, this thing, gotta stop calling him a man. That is such an insult to any gender. I don't care what the fuck you identify as. He's something else entirely. Because it's just an insult to whatever word you use to describe yourself. It's an insult to yourself to describe this thing like that. In any connotation. Because he didn't learn a thing. And then he has the fucking nerve to validate this. This fucking cunt. This motherfucker. Okay, you know how so much negative... We all know about the deplorable shit. I mean, you would think that, there'd only be 1, maybe 2 inches of rape. No, Berserk goes fucking nuts. We know this, right? But I'm talking every single deplorable act. The torture chamber by the church fuckers, for example. Maybe a certain possessed horse that almost got his way. Among all the other deplorable shit we have seen in the entirety of this manga. I would wish nothing but all of that on Griffith, and that's just my fucking first day. Everything negative that has ever happened, any deplorable act that you can come up with, should happen to this thing. It is the most vile, disgusting... I don't have words in the English language. And I know a little bit of Spanish and Japanese, and they don't have words for it either. At least to my limited knowledge. Maybe someone from Russia can tell me, or somebody from, I don't know, Zimbabwe. I don't know. Somebody somewhere has a word that will feel appropriate to describe Griffith and his actions. But it ain't me. Because there is nothing. I could understand if a anime manga fan who worked out, who trained and stuff like that, I would understand if they did the Rocky version of this, taped a picture of Griffith to a punching bag, and their fists never got tired. I would completely understand, because I'm about to go and order a fucking punching bag myself, hang it right there, and beat it until I can't lift my arms anymore. Because this motherfucking cunt. He deserved all that torture. He deserved every fucking bit of it. And as I said, and every other bad act that has happened to anybody. And here's, you know what? He didn't need to do any of this, I'm sure. Like, I'm sure there were other ways. Now, I haven't finished the story, obviously, as I said, chapter 179. But I am confident that he did not need to rape Casca. He did not need to use their baby as his fucking host body. I'm sure there were other ways to get to the place. Like, whatever his current body right now, and the whole, the God hand can't interact with the mortal plane, but we've been told for over 100 fucking chapters, every time the Skull King shows up, that, these worlds, they're not exactly, there's no line anymore. They're kind of melded, like, all the fucking time. So don't give me this bullshit that, without that, he never could have bullshit. Bullshit, because the eclipse happened. And everything after the eclipse, what has Guts been swinging his sword at this whole time? Or are you one of those people who believe, like that crazy fucking SM fucking lady thinks. That fucking stupid priest bitch who gets off on people burning at the stake. Yeah, that's a thing. So she likes the smell of rotting corpses and burning flesh. And even she is looking at this like Guts has been swinging his sword at all these fucking demons and shit. You like, okay, so if the argument is that it was set up that he had to impregnate something, right? But then that's wrong because he didn't impregnate shit. It's not his kid. The host body has nothing to do with him other than he went da-da-da-da, poof. Like literally on a womb, on a fetus. So you're telling me that was the only method? How did the other 4 gods' hands do this shit? Was it that convenient that they just went around until they found a pregnant lady and went da-da-da-da? So, I'm not buying into that if that's one of the theories. Nobody's told me that yet. I'm trying to stay off of anything that spoils me any further. But I will just say that there was other methods. There was absolutely 3 things. There was no need to rape Casca. There was no need to taint the child. And there was no fucking need to use that child as the host body. These were all choices that Griffith specifically made. I'm not blaming that causality bullshit. Because once again, I just had this debate today in my own server about this. And I never took causality to be this new thing like the Nen system or cursed energy or so say like a power system or something. No, I took it for what it is. Causality is a word and it exists in this world. It's what the Merovingian in the Matrix was always talking about. Action, reaction, cause and effect. Right? That's causality. And what they were simply saying was that we are just very educated. Either they got a crystal fucking ball, or, they got some form of omniscience, or they literally they are just so old and so intelligent and so wise that they can say, we chose Griffith because we know, given the situation, no matter what, he will get to this point. Might not be today, might not be tomorrow, and as we know from Zod's own predictions, that causality sometimes can be askew, it can be wrong. So once again, it's simply, the whole idea of causality is this perfect thing. No. It's an educated guess at best. It's a very good educated guess, but it's nonetheless not infallible. Causality is simply knowing that this person will always make this choice. So whether they can see into the future or whatever like that, the idea is that that's all the causality is that these people, or whoever determined to give him the fucking egg, knew that Griffith was the most vile, evil, fucking cunty piece of shit to ever fucking cunt, that he would be that. They literally bet on that. And I mean, once again, I'm pretty sure I could take those odds if I looked at somebody like fucking Hitler and I said, I think he's kind of evil. I think he's a little nuts. That's not fucking infallible causality in the universe and the world. That's literally fucking using your fucking gray matter between your 2 ears. And ironically, Void literally has his brain showing up because he's like, I'm compensating for something. Look, I'm super smart. I'm just not packing, right? So fuck that guy and his whole fucking everything was decided and fate and bullshit. Shut the fuck up, okay? These were the actions of one stupid, vile, evil, corrupted cunt of a wannabe fucking man who is a rapist, a sexual... By the way, he did this before. Everyone told me about the Casca shit. Nobody told me that he literally raped the princess too. I'm just saying. Look, the age of consent in Canada is 16. Whether you agree with that or not, I don't give a fuck. But what I'm saying is, still, even if they're 60, even if they are the age of consent, like Princess Charlotte was, which is the reason I bring it up, is she was saying no. She just went with it because of the hero worship. That's manipulation. There's a reason that it doesn't matter if you're of age, but doctors, teachers, they're not allowed, because that is a big moral line to cross. You're not allowed to, you cannot consent to that shit. He was in a position of power, of authority, and you can argue, yeah, but she's the royal family. She's a 16-year-old fucking girl who's infatuated with the pretty silver hair. That curly-haired fucking elf-looking motherfucker. I would have done the same shit as the king did to his fucking face. Good thing he always wears that fucking helmet. He's too ashamed because once he lost his fucking pretty looks, he didn't even want to look himself in the mirror. But you know what? I would have taken that motherfucker and shoved his face in that mirror every goddamn day. That torturer just became my new favorite fucking character in this goddamn series because I wish he had done more shit. Give me more time. He only suffered for a year. Give that torturer, bring that torturer back to life. You know, we're bringing back demons all the fucking time. Bring that torturer back and let him go have another go at Griffith for another couple fucking years. Fuck this fucking guy. Anyways, so, yeah. I just binge read all that all day, and I'm just absolutely fucking livid. So yeah, I told you guys this would be a fucking rant video. I told you I'd be all over the back. I told you. So yeah. 30 minutes of me just fucking shit-talking that motherfucker. I hope that helped you. I think it started to help me. I think I'm calming down a little bit now. But you know, at the very least, I hope it was entertaining for you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope it was. And if you're offended by something I said or implied that, oh, well, that's going too far for Griffith, no, you're fucking wrong. Shut the fuck up. Every terrible thing that could ever possibly happen to anybody ever across the entirety of the past, present, and future deserves to happen to this fucking thing, and I wish it over and over and over again on this fucking thing. And then bring him back to life and just do it all over fucking again. There's not enough lifetimes that this fucking piece of shit could have. And it still wouldn't be enough. Still wouldn't be a fucking enough. I didn't know I'd get this animated about Berserk, honestly. I knew it was going to be a great manga. I knew it was going to be a great read. I just didn't expect to get so emotionally invested in it. You know, I did not expect that going in. I really didn't. So yeah. Berserk is fantastic, by the way. Absolutely a wonderful manga. Just want to say that. And I think that's my closing bit, because I could keep just cursing and swearing and saying the same shit over and over. And trust me, I could probably do it. As I said, if I had a punching bag right here, right now, you guys would just see me doing this. Constant. Just constantly. So, yeah. Anyways, Berserk is great. Griffith is the worst. And that's my rant. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. There probably won't be other videos as intense and all over the map as this one. I can't promise that, but unlikely. This is a bit of a out to left field sort of episode. Well, left is this way on the camera, so left field. Out to left field as this one, but they do happen. They do occur. So, yeah. Anyways, that's it for me. That's my rambling. That's my rant. Hope you guys liked it. Have a good one, everyone. Sayonara.